In 1940, construction on St Barnabas Church finally came to an end, providing the people of Tuffley with a new place to congregate and worship. In 2020, plans were made to celebrate the 80 years of the church's doors being open, which became hindered by the global outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. The following film features materials from the church archives, as well as interviews with members of the St Barnabas Church community as they share their thoughts and memories of the church's history. All filming was done in accordance with the government's social distancing guidelines to ensure the health and well-being of all those involved.
My parents moved to the parish when I was just 6 months old in 1952, and so all of my childhood years until I left home in 1970 were spent in the parish, involved in parish activities.
I was born on St Barnabas Day, 1939, and so I've been associated with St Barnabas ever since, with just one or two breaks for various reasons, during the actual war itself and after when I went to university and came back again.
I've been a parishioner at St Barnabas Church since 1980, well just before 1980, so just over 40 years.
I've been coming to St Barnabas Church probably since I was born, which was over 70 years ago, so I've had a long association with this church really. It's the only church I've ever been to consistently, apart from when I was away at college, when I went to various churches while I was away, but always to this church.
My mother first brought me as a young child to St Barnabas, even before the temporary church was built, because my mother used to go to the small church, the small brick church, which was there previously and is still there now today. And this was in 1928, when I was 7. She wanted to get me to join the choir. So she got an appointment with me with a choir master, and the first thing he asked me, can you sing? And I said, yeah, I'm not very good. He said, well, if you want to be a chorister in my choir, you'll have to start learning pretty quickly. The Reverend Tom made this wonderful statement, completely out of the blue, completely unexpected, and he got into the pulpit and he said, my apologies to the service is starting a bit late, but we've been trying to get you all sat down before the service can start. And I think we pretty well achieved that now. But he said, you know what? This church isn't big enough for us. This church is not big enough. We need a bigger church. Everybody sort of who was there seemed to think it was funny that he should say that. And there was quite a bit of laughter when he said, we need a bigger church. He said, no, I'm serious. And said we could have a bigger church. Across the road, in the big field across the road,
My grandfather, Mr. Roland Parslow, was the general foreman on the church building 80 years ago. And when I mentioned this to a dear lady in the congregation called Rose, she very kindly said, "Well, Lorraine, you're helping to build the church as well. You're just using bricks of a different kind." And that's just one example of the great encouragement that we've experienced here.
Because all my family have been quite musical, we used to put on various different shows in the family at St Barnabas, like little pantomime, and we did like the Sound of Music once, and we got known as the Williams Von Trapp family.
So I was involved in many sort of parish organisations, and through that, you know, we'd sort of watch sort of regular events that came around every year, like Harvest Festival, Harvest Suppers, the choir boys' sort of annual summer outing and the Christmas parties, and sort of other sort of events that took place. Like there was a drama group here in the parish called the St Barnabas Players, who used to put on productions in the parish hall.
And great care was taken to have as authentic a costume as possible. There was no question of sort of a tea towel around your head or anything like that. It was properly costumed. And all the, as I say, all the members of the Young Wives took part, and some of their offspring recruited as angels or pages. I remember my sister was an angel with great big wings. And I was a page to my mother, who was a king, and I had to carry a gold casket. But in the meantime, while that sort of thing was happening, the choir used to sing a variety of different carols which illustrated the story that was being told.
It is a very caring place, yes. Yeah.
What St Barnabas means to me? Well, it has virtually lived with me for the large part of my life. My wife and I have had many happy days being with friends at the church here, and those were very happy days.
The Reverend Tom was clear. He said when talking about his vision for the new building, we are building not only for the present, but for the future. And that is what we are called to do. So let us cherish this gift of a vision left to us by the Reverend Tom Lambert. Let us honour him. Let us honour the people who carried his vision by continuing to build God's kingdom here for the church of the future. God bless you as we journey together into whatever God has for us next.